Yo, what's up, and welcome to PrevailPrevail.com. I'm your host with the most Prevail. I'm with my man, Jonathan Litchfield, at Litchfield, live from Gastown. How you doing, brother?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
Awesome, thank you.
Good.
Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, my pleasure.
I'm going to hit you with a quote.
Okay.
Henry David Thoreau once said, "It's not what you look at that matters, it's what you see." Sourcing all of this amazing one-off stuff, is that something that you think translates?
Yeah, that's actually interesting. That's a very good quote as it relates to how we buy and filter things to come into the shop. The idea behind the whole store is I like to edit what comes into my life, both the things and the people and the ideas and the food and everything.
Sure.
And the things that we surround ourselves with, I think, are not just things that we look at, they're the things that we see. So they affect us.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's a great quote. I think that's why I like to be careful about what I put around myself, that it doesn't just look good, but it's also good quality, because ultimately that does something for you.
I love that ideology that you put in place about it's not just about the physical effects.
No.
It's also about the people, what you put into your body.
Yeah.
Are you one of those my body is a temple kind of people in life?
Yeah, generally I am. I'm not super extreme, but I'm very conscious of it. I like to make sure that what I'm putting into my body or on my skin, I feel like in the end it all makes a difference.
I agree with you. So we're going out for dinner sometime next week.
Sounds good.
Okay. And of course we're live in Gastown, so we have a multitude of options.
So many good options.
A couple interesting pieces caught my eye, and especially I love the cross-collaborative nature of things. I saw some jam, I saw some candles. How did Litchfield get into putting that stuff in effect?
Well, the very grassroots concept of the store is, and the reason that the tagline for the store is "How We Live," is it's all based around my family experience and how my family lives. So yeah, that idea of like what we put into our bodies or what we surround ourselves with, it all is based on that. So I like to pull into the shop things that reflect how I live. So candles are a thing, and you can buy lots of candles, but the smell of a space, to me, really changes the way I feel about it. And there's a whole different level of scent and quality of scents that you can go after, and so we work really hard to develop scents that are a little bit complex, a little bit unusual, and yet still familiar, to make you feel something. And that's what I think a lot of people respond to when they come into the store, and they say, there's a great vibe in here. Yeah. It feels good. And I think part of it's the smell.
And that's very clever, because I saw you're obviously discerning, because I see volume 1, volume 2, and of course the olfactory process and the sensors so closely tied to memory. You're obviously got the fragrances going in the store that hopefully translate to people walking away with more than just a tangible experience. You're leaving them with the memory takeaway that immediately ties them back to the store. So how about when I taste the jam? What am I getting there?
The jam is, going back to that organic idea, the jam is, it's a Nanking cherry jam.
Okay.
And the Nanking cherry is a fairly unusual fruit, but again, my grandparents had Nanking cherries growing in their backyard, and so we always grew up with Nanking cherry jam and syrup and stuff. It's an unusual, slightly tart cherry that's really nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
This is comfy. What's going on with the sofa?
Thank you, yeah. I have loved this sofa for years. It's by a Canadian guy actually, named Stephen Ken, who now lives in LA with his wife. It's, I think, a piece of just really excellent design. And he's started to do some really cool collaborations with some Japanese designers. He's definitely been noticed by some pretty awesome tastemakers, but we are proud to be the only Canadian retailer for the Stephen Ken line.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's great. They're super comfy, really awesome pieces.
I love seeing Canadians succeed.
Yeah.
Case in point, I see on the rack here you've got Monocle, which to me is, I used to love reading Wallpaper and still highly respect the magazine, but started, as you know, I'm sure, Winnipeg gentlemen started it up and eventually sold it to Condé Nast. I feel that Monocle is the natural progression of that sort of ideology again of aesthetic, but quality. You know, a quality piece. If you're going to buy something and you're going to love it and herald it, hold on to it and be able to make it a heirloom piece.
Absolutely.
There's huge importance in that, and so I see everything that you guys are doing here. I remember you had the display of the Opinel knives, and now I'm walking through, and I always get this wrong, but I think it's pronounced Lagule?
Layul.
Lagule.
Layul, yeah.
Okay, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
So you're multilingual because I know you lived in Japan for quite some time.
Yeah, I grew up in Japan, and I think that my experience in Japan also definitely plays into the philosophy behind the store and how I filter what comes into the store. Because you're talking about pieces that are the kind of quality that you can use for your lifetime or potentially even pass on. And that's kind of a Japanese ideology. It's not in North America, in recent years, there's been a very quick consumer mentality of buy lots of it, use it up and throw it out, whether it's cheap t-shirts or dishes or whatever it is. And that just doesn't sit quite well with me.
Sure.
I think that we should maybe spend a little bit more time and effort and maybe a bit more money on some things that are going to last and not fill up our landfills and not churn through things and people and treat it all as disposable. Because it's not.
It's not. That's completely right. Energy is not expendable. Human energy,
Yeah.
mind, thought, the process, the planet, we need it all. Yo, if you were in Gastown, I don't care if you've got to travel from anywhere in the world. If you're in Vancouver, you're getting off one of the cruise ships and you're rolling around, look at all the great little souvenir places we have. Come to Litchfield and get something of value. Learn something. You know what I loved? We were just sitting here about 10 minutes before we started doing the interview, and a young family came in, 2 kids and the mom, and the kids were ripping around the store and actually touching things. And Jonathan and I said, isn't that amazing? The kids are actually getting something tangible and new aesthetics to feel and appreciate and look at. It is so hugely important for us continuing as a race, as a race of humans, as a people thinking and we're literally thinking about the things that we're doing to the environment, putting in our body, and the way that we consume. Come to Litchfield, get educated, get something rare, get something new, get something of value, get something of tradition that you can make an heirloom piece and pass on to your people. Jonathan, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm going to drop one more multilingual thing on you.
Okay,
Hajimemashite.
Hi, domo.
We're live from PrevailPrevail.com, Litchfield, Gastown. Come check them out. Thank you, Molly. You can't see her, but you're going to meet her as soon as you walk in.
She's amazing.
Jonathan Litchfield, word up. Thank you, guys. Peace.